Okay, we are live. Let's do it, dude. Uh
Yep.
Man, this is a strange feeling. Um at this, current moment in time, we have one viewer. Shout out to you, whoever you are. Man, it's been a minute, I think, since that. Oh,
Since we've started a stream and there haven't been any people basically.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We're giving a presentation to one guy in like an auditorium.
But that guy's the real one. I think hand still Gato. Thank you, thank you.
Mm.
Oh, Grim Reaper, let's go. Number two. You love to see it. Here, let me share the
Yeah,
chat
what
with
up,
you.
what up?
Yeah.
Um, for everybody that is here right now, and for everybody that's just gonna be watching this back as a VOD, what's up? Hope you guys are doing good. And with hidden inventory just being over like last week, obviously we've been talking about the episodes in a sort of like episode by episode capacity. But now that the entire arc is over, season two's adaptation of it rather, me and Cream thought it would be nice to, at least for one of the off weeks, sort of give our thoughts on the arc as a whole, how we thought the anime adapted it, maybe what we were looking forward to, particularly going forward in Shibuya and onwards and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's kind of the plan for this stream.
Uh,
But yeah, I mean, we can just jump right into it if there's
yeah,
nothing else, to be honest with you.
yeah. Honestly, yeah. I don't see a reason why. I do want to start off by saying I think arguably the entire arc is now better in the anime than it is in the manga. I think I'm ready to firmly make that declaration.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair stance to have. I'm not gonna lie to
Yeah,
you,
I mean,
and I
Gege had a
think
good run, but you know,
yeah, and I think I would generally, I think I generally speaking would really agree. Gege did a really good job, um, when it comes to like depicting things in hidden inventory. I
but
personally think that's kind of where his art has a pretty massive uptick in quality. At
mhm.
least that's when I start to really fall in love with the style. There are some really cool shots of Gojo using blue in particular, or obviously like Toji pointing the gun at Geto's cursed spirit dragon or whatever.
Mhm.
And I think I don't know. I think it's typically where people start liking Jujutsu Kaisen in general more. The characters get a lot more compelling. The story gets more interesting. Toji obviously is really good in that capacity. But I do feel like hidden inventory was essentially done better at every possible juncture.
Mhm.
In the anime, I think Mappa did a really good job with it, pretty unambiguously so, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. It.
So like, I want to ask you this,
Mhm.
more so than asking if the anime is better than the manga. When do you think you were ready? Like, what is the earliest point in which you were ready to make that declaration? That you were like, obviously it wasn't concluded, it wasn't over, but you were sure that yeah, when it is, it's going to like when the anime does finish adapting it, it's gonna be better. Like, was there a
Oh.
point before the final episode, or was it only once the arc ended where you're able to say that?
I'm gonna be okay. The real answer is
Hmm.
episode one, and I'll tell you what scene. Right. It was
Okay.
specifically the extended scene of Mei and Utahime in the mansion.
Hmm.
I I love that scene. I loved it when I first watched it, and I've only like grown to love it even more. It is
Hmm.
one of my favorite additions to the story. It is just littered with character work. You really got to like kind of sit with these two characters, and
Hmm.
I said it, that first episode, but like I I was so engaged with it that I almost got disappointed when I saw Gojo and Geto come through.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely get that.
What about
And
you?
I think I would. Episode one is crazy. I get it. Episode one is crazy. I think when I was like confident, where I was willing to say that, was probably episode three. I think where I was like, oh yeah, for sure. You can't fumble the bag now for hidden inventory. You know what I mean?
Mm,
You couldn't mess up even if you wanted to here. Really, it seemed like for Mappa. I think that was really the final litmus test, or the final stress test I needed to see from the anime. Was obviously, the new aesthetic was really cool in general. I'm a very big fan of it, but up to that point, we had seen some action, right? We had seen Geto versus the old man. We had seen Gojo versus Paper Bag Man, right? We had seen some fights go down a little bit, but we hadn't seen anything serious. You know what I mean? We hadn't really seen anything like too action heavy for any extended period of time. So to see Toji versus Gojo, even though that is a short fight, to see that in any capacity be handled really well, and the the decision to go with less detail, a softer shading style, all that remain true and remain like a really good choice. I think was kind of the last thing I needed ticked off. You know what I mean? It's okay. The aesthetics cool, the backgrounds are cool, the additions are cool. All of that stuff is really fun. It's really interesting. It's really engaging. Obviously Rico's scene, with like the ending and then cutting it off with Toji's bullet, crazy. That definitely contributed to that overall opinion. But I think a lot of that was we got to see real action for the first time in season two, and that was the final thing I needed to see, before I could be like, you know what, yeah, yeah, the season two's adaptation has definitely done quite a bit to convince me that it is better than the like original version of it.
Yeah, I. It's interesting you say episode 3 though, because no, 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 not episode 3. Oh my god, yes, like I thought you said episode 4, as in like the honored one moment. And I was like, that is not a bad take, but it is a bold take. But I
What
just
do you
remembered
mean?
episode 3 was like the next stabbing with Toji. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, episode 3 was fire, right? I think in our
Mhm.
rankings, we both said 5, then 3, then 1, then 2, then 4, or
I have no. I have 5, 4, 3, 1, 2.
5, 4, 3, 1, 2. Yeah, okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
think that those are our rankings. But yeah, um, you know, I was, now that it's been a couple weeks, right? Do you
Mhm.
think that the backlash to the honored one moment was a bit intense?
Uh, it's like, I mean, I'll address it kind of in both ways. I think your question could be answered, right?
Okay.
The first one being like, were the complaints harsh? And realistically speaking, I don't really think so. I think it was people wanting a particular angle to be adapted and shown,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, because it's very iconic within the community, and I think a lot of people, not a lot of people, a vocal amount of people, right, were talking about it, complaining about it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But in the grand scheme of things, and like the grand scheme of like anime complaints and things of that nature, I don't think that episode caught too much flack. I'm gonna be real with you.
Mm.
And I also don't think it deserved flack in that capacity. Now the second way in which to answer the question is kind of like, well, what do I look at it as like, were the complaints even remotely valid? And I think it's fine to have that opinion. I'm not getting upset about it, right? It is perfectly fine to think that hidden inventory in general, or even just the honored one moment, is better in the manga. I kind of hold the belief that they are both about as good as they could have been in their respective mediums, for the most part. Like, I think Gege used the medium of manga really well to tell the story. I
Mm-hmm.
think the anime just has like more tools to use. It has the added benefit of hindsight. It has Gege's additions to it as well. There's a lot of things that Hidden Inventory originally didn't to elevate it. And I'll go so far as to say, not only do I think the the backlash is fine, right? This isn't like a you shouldn't have that opinion. I don't really care. But I'll just say this: the honored one moment for me is better in the anime. Like,
Interesting.
it's not like a, oh, it's okay, guys. Like, it's somewhat upsetting, but no. Like, I think when you observe that entire scene and you don't just compare a screenshot to a screenshot,
Mm-hmm.
that the moment is better in the anime.
Interesting. I'd say you're probably in the minority of manga readers who watch the anime, and got to that scene, like having that opinion. But I don't like I'm not objecting to it. I think I like the panel in the manga more, but I think I like the entire scene and context more in the anime.
Yeah.
Like I think the total package, like pound for pound is just better there.
Yeah, I
Um,
definitely agree. I think people, and it's not just JJK fans, Demon Slayer fans, My Hero fans, everybody does it, right? Because it's a very easy comparison to make that can be understood at a first glance. But it's like, look at this thing and then look at this thing side by side. No context. Here's the screenshot. And the thing I've always said is just, you don't watch anime like that. To be fair, you don't really read manga like that either. But manga lends itself quite a bit more to just being isolated, removed from its context, and then shown as just a still piece of art because at the end of the day, that is all it is in isolation, right?
mhm.
But with anime, the moment you remove its movement, the moment you remove any voice acting, the moment you remove any like sound design, is the moment that it's like you are automatically robbing it of several of the things that make it interesting.
Right. You're doing it a
Something that I
disservice. Yeah.
yeah, something that I'll say in my something that I will have said in my video tomorrow, I guess, concerning hidden inventory anime versus manga, is that like yes, 100%. If you just put these two images side by side, I like the manga version more. But it's like such a moot comparison to me. Um, it's such an irrelevant fact because I will never ever watch the anime and then just pause on that frame, then pull up the manga to compare it. It's like, no, I'm watching it as a piece of animation with voice acting,
Yeah.
um,
On its own.
and with
Yeah.
motion and with all of these things with like OSTs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm consuming it in its entirety, and I think that that whole sequence of Gojo's awakening and the honor room moment, blah blah
Mhm.
blah, Hollow Purple, all of that is done extremely well in the manga, right? I don't think people love that chapter and that scene for no reason,
Mhm.
but I think that the anime just elevated it.
Yeah.
So that's kind
100%.
of
Yeah.
that's kind of the sense I have.
Cool. I mean, I'm fully locked in with you. I like it's it's almost criminal how much better the anime adapted certain scenes. Like uh I think in no particular order, like ones that come to mind are episode 3 where Toji and Gojo's initial fight, right? Seeing not only Toji's speed, but like for example, Gojo just obliterating that entire like block. That
Mhm.
was so fucking sick. The animation on that. Um,
Yeah.
and the what was I gonna say? The last one is is Hollow Purple. Oh, that was so pretty, man. The Hollow
Yeah.
Purple animation. I dream about that animation.
Yeah, it was, I mean, very obviously, very clearly, very good. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's one of those things that's just like, yeah, it was. I mean, it's just an extremely good adaptation of an extremely interesting moment. And they really cooked. The music was cool. No rave music. Um, I mean, I don't know, man. Everything about it was very good to me in that moment. I mean, if you're talking about like elevation just in terms of comparing what the manga did to what the anime did, to me the two biggest contributors are Riko's like revelation into Toji like shooting
Hmm.
her and Geto and Toji's fight. Like those are the things that to me have the biggest gap, right?
Really?
Because and
Hmm.
it's not it's because I think for example Toji versus Geto is very very short, right? It's very very lax because the kind of implication is that Toji's botting this guy, right? There is no need for closeness, anything like that. Toji walks up, pieces him up, and then keeps it pushing. Whereas in the anime, the first 10 minutes of the episode are spent fighting. Although I would say that Toji's portrayal was like significantly stronger as kept up. Um, it's obviously in anime fashion, it extends what we get to see, and I think that is like one of the larger gaps. And I think the same thing for the Rika moment. You go back and you read what Gege wrote, and it's good, it's fun, it's interesting, right? But
Hmm.
then you go back and you watch it, man, the anime just dialed it up to 100. And I feel like the entire season has so far, but those are where the biggest gaps lie. Like the honored one moment, I can get why people like it in the manga
Hmm.
more, right? I can get why people can even like Gojo versus Toji in the manga more, right? There are
Right.
some there are some really cool uses of blue and like perspective and drawings that like the anime can't really replicate all that well. It doesn't try to, but it just can't do it because of the medium difference. Where I'm like, yeah, if you're like me, you prefer manga generally, like that's just the way you like consuming these types of stories. It makes sense as to why you'd like it more in certain instances. But with those, I'm like, I really don't know if I'd find anybody who likes Toji versus Geto more in the manga than the anime, just because of how much is added and like how
Yeah,
much
it's
like real material they give you.
yeah. I'd even hesitate to call it a fight in the manga. You know, it was maybe
Yeah.
a page and a half, two if you want to
Mm-hmm.
highball. But it was like in the anime, it felt like a lot more. At least it had like a feeling to it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
especially like that feeling is desperation on Geto's end, but you really feel that against Toji, right? The
Mm-hmm.
grief after like the news about Gojo and definitely Rico. Like my favorite part about the season, honestly, has just been uh Geto's journey, like his descent into being like the villain of JJK Zero, like that we know him to be,
Mm-hmm.
and you really got to see him like go through the motions of being like really happy with Gojo, to like heartbroken, to like angry, to resentful, to back to a different kind of happy.
Mm-hmm.
And it like the whole journey was done so well that I feel like it almost betrays the quality of Geto's story, like in that he seems to be a much better character in this arc, that is disproportionate to the quality of character he is in his like later and final appearances. Like, do you think Geto in a vacuum, like if you only saw JJK Zero, right, or only read JJK Zero, like Geto's not moving the needle for you in the same way he did, just this season, or just seeing him like make the switch up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if because okay, I don't know if you guys saw the recap episode for this week, but the way they're doing it is they're super cutting it with parts of the movie. So they're recapping parts of season two, and then sort of the second half is the movie, so you can see what happens after. And I was telling BR this. Imagine for a second you're an anime only, or the person you're recommending this to is an anime only, and that's how they find out about like what happens to Geto. It is hilarious to think like that. Like, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
uh but yeah. How do you feel about like how they adapted Geto's story and like the JJK Zero attachment?
Um, I guess I'll ask for further elaboration on the JJK Zero attachment in a second. Like
Mm.
what you mean by that question, more like. But I think for the adaptation of Ghetto Story, I mean it was perfect as far as I'm concerned. Um, it is an extremely good, fun. Well, fun might be the wrong word. It is an extremely good adaptation of a very like somber, kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Humbling may not be the term, but very just like sad thing in like a more overarching context.
Mm.
And I think they did a really good job of that. As for the maybe difference between Volume Zero Ghetto and like Hidden Inventory
Inventory, yeah.
Ghetto, I mean, there's a couple of reasons like why there's a difference. One, Gege just
Like he's working
like was
backwards, right?
significantly
Like, yeah.
more incompetent like
Oh,
initially.
why is your thing meaner
uh
than mine, dude?
well, I mean, he said as much, you know what I mean? Like this isn't even this is just like almost parroting his words. He's just said, if you read like one of the end notes on volume 0, that he's going to have to significantly improve if he actually wants to have a serialized story, you know what I mean?
Mm.
So it's not like, I like volume 0, but I think even a lot of JJK proper doesn't hold up as well to the like initially at least as hidden inventory does, or and things that follow, because I think Gege is just kind of continuously improving.
Mm.
However, I will say that Volume 0 Ghetto, there to me there's only that difference if you consume it in like without the context of hidden inventory personally. And I think he retroactively, like, if you watch Volume Zero first before getting into into Jujutsu Kaisen, like, fine. I think he then retroactively becomes a better character from hidden inventory. And if you read or watch hidden inventory before getting into Volume Zero, I think all of his writing in that movie or in that like one volume makes a lot of sense. So I think it's just a matter of like it's not just Geto that suffers in terms of characterization or in terms of like I would say Gojo is less cool. I would say like outside of maybe Yuta and Maki, and
Yeah,
maybe you could say Inumaki, everybody is a lesser version of what they are in JJK proper, and that's just because there's less time to focus on each character
right.
and you're dealing with a more inexperienced author.
True. Um, I, I guess then, do you think there's like a part of Gege that wants to, go back, or not even go back, but like reintroduce him in the manga somehow, even very briefly? Give him a quote unquote better ending.
No, I don't think so. And because if he did, he wouldn't have been able to. It's too late for that. You can't change anything with the way it's been written.
Right.
Um,
Yeah. Especially because like
you
Geto's end is very final.
it's not
So
even just that. It's the finality is important and stuff like that, but it's um much more than that. It's the way he died and like the specificity of it all is like almost everything down to the details extremely important. You know what I mean?
mm,
It's not an inconsequential death, right? If you change anything about that, you go back like Gege, get back to like chapter 90 or some shit. We're rewriting. You know what I mean? Um,
mm,
because the moment you introduce Kenjaku as a concept, right? You have very definitively finalized Geto's story in that capacity, unless you decided you want to bring him back. You know what I mean?
right. Yeah.
Like as soon as you killed Geto, you really killed Geto. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Especially because like it's not just about killing Geto or not. It's you. You like stamped over his death. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you notarized it.
for sure. And that's exactly what I'm getting at. I think it's just it is important in that capacity to keep it the same, and I also don't think it just needs to. Like, I think it's completely fine as is. um you could I think Ghetto's story could have been significantly different if he wasn't the final villain of Volume Zero, and maybe he could have been an even better character. But I also don't know if
If the story would have
Gege
allowed
particularly
for it, yeah.
cares.
Yeah.
Um,
That too.
and if I mean, there's that. I guess like the story might not have went for it, but it's also like as an author, I have to imagine you have the attitude of like I can always like make another good villain. You know what I mean? If you feel like you're a
Nah.
competent author, it's just like I don't know. Maybe it's a little weird on my part, but I'm just like I mean, it's not like you've built Ghetto out of some like very rare resource. It's your pen, it's your mind, it's paper and it's ink. Like do another like make another one. Make
I mean,
another cool
he
villain.
literally did,
Um
right? Like the thing with Geto and like everything is Gege just sort of added on, kind of yes anded himself there.
mhm.
And I think we'll see how that develops in Shibuya when that gets adapted, which, by the way, chat's talking about already, but kind of pressing forward.
Mm. Could you scroll down? I don't know if it's refreshing for me.
Yeah, no, this is it.
Uh, it's just the last thing said is Tessero saying funny. Is that am I missing something? Is there something
Oh,
else?
what? It should be Landa's chat, because now I gotta give friends a watch order. LOL. Watch the movie after episode 5. Yeah. By the way, that should be the watch order. I think it should just be like one, two. Sorry, season one, core one of season two, and then the movie.
Bro stole my watch order. It was crazy.
Your watcher, yes, bro. Nobody thought of it before,
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm glad you understand you stole from
bro.
me.
I am still a
All I'm saying is
yeah.
last time I mentioned you were like, really? You think people should watch it that way? You know what I mean?
No, all
Don't
I
act,
said
don't
was
act
it
all
would
brand
be
new.
really funny, just hilarious if you if you made them watch it, core one of season two first, then the movie, then season one.
Hilarious.
Yeah, like ha ha funny, laugh out loud
Yeah,
even.
like For sure. Be the type of funny where you don't even smile. You know what I mean? That type of funny.
Yeah, no,
Um,
that's peak humor.
yeah, nah, but
But yeah,
Maito greater than Geto's a villain? Duh.
yeah,
Like obviously.
unfortunate.
Maito's better than every JJK character in terms of being a villain. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's an unfair standard to hold Geto to. I'm gonna be real. Um, like, yeah,
Um,
nah.
by the way, I just realized, so season season two official like season two court two starts 2 weeks from now, or I guess 3 weeks, right? Technically 3 weeks
Mm-hmm,
from now, and
mm-hmm.
um, it's funny to imagine them adapting Shibuya. Now that we have like a nice sample of how they adapted Hidden Inventory, and I'm curious, is anything about what we saw with Hidden Inventory a presenting a good or bad or alarming or any kind of sign about like or indication about how they might adapt Shibuya? Because, for example, right, I have a feeling that they will like blitz through the fights because like characters are just kind of gonna be moving like that in a way that was like a lot more tightly paced than say the manga, right? So a lot of Gojo's fights, for example, like that he had, uh, might I wouldn't even be surprised if they took like an episode, maybe two, if you want to get like really dramatic with it.
I mean, is
However,
that even blitzing through it though at that point? Like that's just
uh,
adapting it.
it depends on how long you
I mean,
think
how
it'll
many
take, right? Like in between people joining in, the dialogue exchanges and all that.
hmm.
So, yeah, that's kind of what I mean, right? And also like how much time you want to give Gojo's headspace, because like it presents itself at two important junctures in the story, right? So how much time do you think they'd give that, for example?
I would not be able to give you a figure of time. I mean, I don't know. Nothing that they've done so far with hidden inventory uh worries me about the pacing or anything. I mean,
It doesn't even have to be
this
worry. It
isn't.
could be like looking forward to.
I mean, I guess then yeah, that like good. What do I expect from Shibuya? Good adaptation, good eats.
Mm.
Um,
There's a
they've done. They haven't given me any like they haven't. There hasn't been any sort of like decision I've seen really that is like that I don't like that is also simultaneously indicative of further dislike to come. You know what I mean?
okay. Yeah, and also I don't think any panel in Shibuya is quite as contentious as like the Honored One panel for Gojo. So I do think they might have a
I wouldn't
better,
say all that.
really like, huh?
I mean, like any particular panel or like any particular like moment.
Panel specific, like composite, because like a lot of people's beefs was like specifically the composition of the Honored One moment, right? So it was like quote unquote the
I mean,
paneling.
I guess, but I didn't. I'm not gonna lie to you. That complaint only, as far as I'm aware, like as far as my seeing of it, the desire to have it adapted like that only existed once the anime was there. So like the existence of people's particularity of the honored one moment wasn't even a thing until episode 4. You know what I mean? At
Uh,
least from what I saw. Like, so that's why, I mean, yeah, I guess I can't think of one right now, but I'm sure if they change up anything too much, right, we get a different piercing blood angle, or like we get a different fire versus fire like angle, or like I'm sure there's a bunch of things that people are going to like they like in the manga, and if once they see it in a different presentation, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of things that Mappa does if they're like, I wish it was this angle, blah 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 blah.
ah,
um
it's so yeah. I mean, I always thought there might be like a harder case for it because there's a lot less not even emotional stake, but like cool factor stake that goes into a lot of these scenes. Like a lot of them I don't think can be fumbled, knock wood. Like uh any of the fights ending, like I think they all ended pretty dramatically. Um maybe, dude, they
I mean, I
they
guess.
like they need to fuck it up like actually, you know what I mean? For I think people to like push back because like with the Gojo one, it's maybe a preference petty thing, but like for something like in Shibuya, anything that's iconic there is important enough to the story and an execution where messing it up isn't as simple as like I don't like how you presented it, but it would actually be almost immersion breaking.
I mean, I think I just hold the same stance about it, the honored one moment. I think the only way you could have truly messed it up is like by getting the tone wrong. Um,
But yeah, like that's what I mean, right? So yeah, I don't think they messed up the honor one moment, right? But I'm saying
yeah, and
like
I agree.
yeah, okay.
I'll speak. I won't speak for other people. I'll just say for me, there are plenty of moments that I'm like, I hope they like. Okay, there are plenty of moments in Shibuya, like a lot that I'm not worried about, but I'm more interested in seeing done right than the Honorwood moment. Like it's not.
Mm,
They're like I guess for speaking for that, like rather than like other people's perception, me like yeah, there are plenty of things I need them to handle. I need them to handle well, which I'm confident that they will. Don't get me wrong. This isn't like I'm scared or anything. But I will say that there are definitely um, panels, instances, fights, moments that I am much more worried about getting done right. You know what I mean?
mm,
Um,
okay.
I'll say a certain character's comeback. Like the one who left it all behind. Like
Hmm.
I'll say that could probably be a very particular thing as well. To
Oh
me,
yeah, that one is iconic. Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I could see that one
All
being
right.
big.
Um. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm kind of locked in. I'm kind of locked in. Um. Let's see. Uh. Yes, I have a Gojo bias. This isn't news. Look at this picture. You see who that is taking a selfie over there on the leftmost corner or rightmost for if you're just looking at the thing head on. My left in the image. That's
Hmm.
Gojo. All right. Blindfolded up.
Yup. Um,
Oh man. I'm very excited for Shibuya, dude. I'm a little like I know I'm gonna be a little impatient, right, until I see Gojo like in action again. Especially those first like one or two episodes, where certain characters have to have their conflict. He said,
mhm.
rolling his eyes. Um, I think Landa brought this up, and I was so heartbroken, because it's the thing with the person who betrays Jujutsu Tech and their conflict.
Oh yeah.
I really hope it takes like half an episode. I know I'm dreaming, but like like
Jesus Christ, you're such a loser, dude.
oh
God.
not bro. I just
You're like I'm not even gonna I'm literally not gonna argue with you. You're just a loser for that opinion.
I'm a
That's
hate,
all.
bro. How are you not a hater right now?
I told you I'm not gonna argue with you. It's just you're a loser, period.
Uh,
No continuing.
no, no, no.
Um,
What? No, please. How am I a loser?
n- uh, I'm sorry. I don't know if you understood the sentence I just said. You are a loser, period. No elaboration, no further consideration, nothing more. If you don't get it, you never will, buddy. That's it. But yeah, I am looking forward to that very
Silly.
much. I'm ready to cook with it. Basically, I mean, there is not much from here on out that I don't think I'm excited for. I'm trying to think, like, is there a moment in Shibuya that I'm like, that episode or two is gonna be lame? And the answer is no, there isn't.
Even the
Like so
grasshopper?
long, bro. That's one of the things I'm really looking forward to. What the
Really?
fuck?
I mean, it's.
Hell yeah.
I don't think it's taking up a whole episode either, though.
Nobody said it's taking up a whole episode. Toji versus Gojo didn't take up a whole episode. Can you
That's
not be
true.
excited for that?
Yeah, no, no, that's true. Still though, being excited for that like actively, it's barely cracks the top 10 of the entire arc as far as like things to be hyped for.
First of all, barely cracks the top 10 is crazy because I don't even know if that's top 20. All right, so like that's crazy. But yeah, it's not. But that more speaks to Shibuya's quality more than like
Y-
than not the case.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm excited for someone to fight a goddamn grasshopper, right? You know what I mean? Like what are we
Right.
doing
Yeah.
here?
Yeah. True.
Like I'm looking forward to it.
Oh,
That shit's going to be gas.
bro. I was remembering, or I was going through Shibuya, like in the manga, just to remember how much stuff happened, and
Hmm.
depending on where they cut it off, uh, man, that's you're gonna be seeing a lot of different characters coming back, a lot of new techniques, and like just like a animator's like bounty of fights to adapt like for fun.
Yeah.
Um, I think I'm excited more like if I had to like mentally tier like my top three things I'm most excited for. I think Maki and Nanami versus their opponent. Um,
Hmm.
this isn't like in any particular order, but like it's all roughly in the same vein, right? Number two is going to be the result of what happens when they get additional Sukuna fingers in Yuji. Trying to keep them spoiler free
Is
as
this
well.
you trying? Is you
Yeah,
trying to not spoil?
yeah,
That's maybe you should work on that skill set, bro.
bro. I'm trying. It's hard. Like, it's like at this point I'm already 2 out of 3 in deep wise. So let me try to bring it home. All right. Okay. And the last one is Yuji versus Choso.
Oh yeah, so we just abandoned not
I
spoiling.
mean, they
Gotcha,
don't.
gotcha.
I don't think if there's an anime only watches this, they're gonna be like, "Who's Choso?" It's like I think he was in
It,
season one. You know.
it's not about that, bro. Like it's sort of like I don't know, man. It's like I don't. I'll let you make that, bro. I'll let you make that.
Okay. What about you? Top three.
Let's see. Top three final fight. Um,
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
that's crazy. Top three final fight. Um, let's see. Let me get like everything involved, like the one who left it all behind. All right. Let me slot that one in.
Hmm.
Um, and then and then let me see the bathroom fight. You know what I mean? Let's see that cook up. I think top three maybe. That's that. Though all those three are all somewhere in my top five. I'll put it like that. There we go. Like they're all high up. They're all high up for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Yeah. I think I'd also add the final fight like to number like I'd exchange that to number three or number four. It's funny. Uh, there's a lot of. Do you think Shibuya's like? Do you split it up into halves or thirds or like fourths? Like, how do you split up its like different phases?
no, I've never thought about splitting up Shibuya particularly. So like, have you done that before? Is that
Yeah.
like
It's pre and post character going away.
uh-huh, yeah.
So
I mean, I guess that makes sense.
right.
It's a little bit lopsided like that, but I mean, in
Yeah.
terms of what the goals are and like what changes, sure. Um, you know,
Mm,
yeah. I guess that's fine. Yeah, yeah. Like, I guess that's cool. I wouldn't necessarily disagree. Wouldn't
Um,
necessarily disagree.
overall, I think solid. 10 out of 10 adaptation for hidden inventory. Very, very, very excited about Shibuya.
Yep. Me too.
Um,
Me too. I am very excited. I know a lot of people, I guess, at least this is something I saw in like the when Hidden Info was just getting adapted and people were worried about like the style, et cetera, et cetera. I saw a lot of people thinking that like this style was only going to be something for the flashback. And
huh. That's odd.
one, I don't think so, right?
Yeah.
Like in terms of just like I don't think that's the case. Two, I sure should hope not. And three, I feel bad for all the people that like don't like the style that are banking on it changing in season two. Because
Oh, oof. Yeah.
yeah,
I
that's
mean,
gonna be a little rough for y'all. I'm not gonna lie to you.
let's be honest though. I think maybe it's their bias because they haven't seen the modern day story being adapted like fully in that style, so maybe they're just not like used to it. Like for example, the last scene in episode 5, not the last scene, but like when Gojo's waking up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you get to see all the like modern characters. They basically look the same as they did in season 1. So
Mm-mm.
I
No.
from the neck up, like their clothes are like less highlighted or whatever, but generally it's pretty much similar. Like they're still essentially the same. You know what I mean? Like
I
so
mean,
like
yeah.
it shouldn't be too immersion breaking, especially if they're walking and talking. Like if you had the pictures of the character models before, like for both seasons side by side, yes, it's a more obvious difference. But like put them in a couple frames doing different things, I think a lot of people will like be nose blind to it.
Maybe, maybe. Yeah. I guess for those people's sake, I sure hope so. Um,
For their
but yeah,
sake, yeah.
I'm definitely like. I mean, like I see a difference, and I like the distinct difference I am seeing. Like I prefer being able to notice how much different season two looks. You know what I mean? Because I
Mm,
like the way I like its aesthetic quite a bit more. Um.
mm,
So yeah.
okay. Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
I get it. I'm locked into the vision myself. I can't wait to see the style of art. But at night, did we not? I wasn't Ghetto's whole thing at night. Oh, that was like a pretty quick sequence, so I guess it doesn't really
Yeah,
count.
I'm assuming like it,
Yeah,
it should be everything's at night. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like maybe darker vibe and all that.
Mm. I mean, I think by the
Um,
end of of Shibuya, people will forget what it looked like during the day.
yeah.
um,
Um, hmm,
let's see.
yeah. I mean, I'm excited. I'm locked
Yeah,
in. That's
I mean,
that's that's like most of what I can say at this point.
Liv's Nanami shoes hallway thing aside, I am also pretty psyched for the sound design of a couple of things. But there's one scene that I just want to hear spoken, more than anything, just because I want to know how it's going to be translated into sound. So you remember how Hanami in season one was like they just literally did the backwards thing and then explained and or I guess showed you the mechanism for how it worked when people like heard it.
Hmm.
So in the manga, character taps into a certain black box, right? And it's a dialogue panel in the manga, right? In the
Hmm.
anime, I want to know how that plays, right? Is it a visual thing? Like, will they say anything? Will they distort the audio, or will they just translate it somehow? Uh,
Let me. So do you remember if we've heard that in anything in hidden inventory so far? Is there any? Is there any? Like, did you notice characters speaking weirdly in episode 5?
no. Um,
The reason I say that is just because there are characters who have the same, like, blocked out speech, like the regular people that ask for Ghetto's help and that are like jailing Mimiko and Nanako. They have the same, the black boxes over certain information. Now, obviously, Sukuna's moment is bigger, so maybe they'll do it differently. Um, but I could imagine they just do something where Sukuna's like mouthing, and then everything goes mute for a second, and then
mm,
he's like, it's just you just see mouth flaps, and then it's like open, and then he brings out, whatever.
damn.
So,
First of all, completely undid my attempt to be spoiler free. Appreciate it. Uh,
I mean, bro, you already said Sukuna fingers getting consumed. Like, come on now, bro.
look,
You gave up being spoiler free back then.
look, man. Heroism takes many forms. All right. Who are you to judge how I save lives?
Anywho, delusion aside, yeah.
Uh,
So I'm looking forward to a lot of things. Looking forward to a lot of things.
yes,
Looking forward to
yes.
a lot of things.
Um, and you know what? We're gonna be here every week talking about all those things.
Yep. Yep.
And
Yep. Yep.
members, y'all come through early. Appreciate it. Appreciate you coming out to
Hmm.
to these live streams. Um, for what it's worth, I think BR and I were just as not confused, but like unsure of this episode because like we had a conversation about it and n- I don't know if like we forgot or you forgot or like how it happened, but like I at some point you had said, "Oh, did we plan to do this?" And I was like, "Did I dream that up? Like, did I dream of the conversation and just gaslight you into doing it?" And I don't think we'll ever know now, but like,
Uh,
Woof,
Yeah,
dude.
that happened in VC, so it's who was right will be left to it'll be left to the imagination. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie to you.
it's the apple that fell from the tree. Like
Huh?
the apple falls from a
Yeah,
tree, doesn't make a sound type thing. Yeah.
I thought it was if a tree falls in the woods and nobody's around to hear it.
If a
What are you talking about?
tree falls, if a tree
Yeah,
falls,
bro. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree is a different
right?
expression.
But like the other expression isn't a tree falls. It's an they're both about apples. So it's an apple falls in a tree in the forest. Like, are you good?
No, are you? Like, what's going
If an
on
apple
here?
falls from a tree in the woods, doesn't make a sound, is the full expression.
Okay, let me look something up for you.
Are you?
Hold on.
If,
I'm about to show you. About to show you. About to show you. I got you. I got you. Got you. Got you. Because what are we doing here, bro? If an like, am I here here?
show me this proof you allegedly have.
Yeah. Let's see. This is just what comes out. Like, this is one of them. Hold on. Got the live stream full screened.
It is not. If a tree falls in the huh? No.
And there's no one around to hear it. Doesn't
If a
make a
tree
sound.
falls.
Yes,
No.
bro.
No.
Yes, you're thinking you confused. The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree with if a tree falls in the forest and nobody's there. Like, no, bro.
If a tree
What are
falls
we
in the
talking
forest.
about?
What? That's so dull. The apple one.
You're a little your head is your head Jesus, bro. Like, do you just slam it into walls for fun?
Bro, no way I fucking this got to be the Mandela effect.
No, bro, it's not the Mandela effect because everyone but you knows it. It's the you're an idiot effect. It's the effect of
No,
continuous
there's a
brain
conspiracy.
trauma, bro.
There's a conspiracy.
That's what it is.
No, I don't get it.
It's continuous, repeatable brain trauma. Bro said, if an, you know the saying, if the apple falls down in the forest, doesn't make a sound. Like, what are we doing, man? What are we doing, man? Jesus, God, damn, damn. Yeah, bro, it can't be the Mandela effect if you're the only person affected. I'm sorry to tell you.
I mean,
It's not the Mandela effect. That's just forgetting. That's just being a dumbass, bro. Because Creams never knew that. I guarantee you, Creams has walked around probably confidently, just thinking that his existence was correct in that regard, bro. I can't believe that. I can't believe that we've had this interaction. I can't believe that I needed to look this up to show you. Like,
my jaw's on the floor. No way.
my brother in Christ, are you okay?
It can't. Nah. What? What?
Like,
A tree falls. That's so like boring sounding.
Dude, saying if an apple falls on that doesn't even make sense. Like, what are you talking about? If
Because
an apple
apples fall
falls
from
like
apple falls from fucking trees. What are you talking? Like
duh, and trees fall in forests. You fucking idiots.
but
like,
the
both
apple thing
things fall,
happens
then
more commonly than the trees falling.
Give me the stats on that then. Go ahead, since you know everything. Actually, statistically, we know that apple. Like, you don't know that. You're just saying shit. The term "the apple doesn't fall far from the tree" is saying you are very much like, typically speaking, your parent, right? You're very much like the person you are related to, right? You are very similar to that person. The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. If a tree falls, because here's the thing, right? The whole point of it is like trees falling make a fuck ton of sound, right? Apples don't. Like, are you getting that? Are you getting the point? Are you getting the point of what it's saying?
But the whole point is like it's silent either way because the apple is so small.
No, you idiots. You're dumb. You don't even get the point of what that saying is supposed to be. Oh my god, no. The point, right? It's asking if there's nobody there to observe it, does it happen? That's the point of the saying.
Yeah, no, I know that's the point of this,
quiet.
but I thought that like the metaphor worked because the fucking apple was quiet, so the only way you could hear it is if you were there to observe it falling.
You idiot, that works with a tree too. Listen, the thing is this, right? Trees, when they fall, are loud, right? If you hear them fall, you know that it made a noise, right? So if a tree, a very loud thing falls, right? And you know it's loud based on experience, and nobody is there to observe it, does it make a noise, right? Even if people are around, if an apple falls from a tree, nobody might like people might not hear that shit. Like, are you getting it? Are you understanding? Are you following? I can't believe I feel like I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like I'm the fool here for even like talking to you as if you're being serious. Like maybe you're just joking.
I'm
You know what I
fully
mean?
serious, dude. What?
It has to be some sort of bit. You know
It's
what I mean? Like
not,
I'm being played. I'm being punked right now.
bro.
I'm being
I'm.
I'm being punked.
There's simply no
Where are
fucking
the
way.
cameras? No, no, no. This is funny. Where are the cameras? Chat. You guys can stop playing in on the joke, right? Where are the cameras? Because he's not this stupid. You know what I mean?
Do you have
Like,
stock
he's
in
just
this
isn't.
saying, bro? Like, do you get a nickel every time somebody whips it out in conversation?
He's just not. He's just not like okay. Creams. All right. Haha. Good bit. Good bit. Good bit.
It's not a bit, bro.
Joke's over.
Oh my
Right?
God.
Like it's not funny. Like got it. You know. Whoa. Ronan is so dumb for thinking Creams is that stupid. Like come on. Like let's. What's going on here?
Actually, you know what? Nah, I'm willing to go along with that. Thanks for going along with the bit, chat. Wink.
Jesus Christ, man. Holy shit. I've just never
I
like it's
Bro,
oh Jesus.
I was waiting for you to calm down a bit before I dropped this next line on you. I didn't even know trees were loud when they fell. I just thought it was like a soft thing because they're both made out of like grass or not like leaves on grass.
Trees are made out of grass.
Not.
You heard it,
I
you
caught
heard
it.
here
I
first.
fucking caught it. Okay,
You heard it
don't.
here first.
Oh my god.
Trees are made out
That is
of
not
grass.
what I literally corrected myself like in the same sentence. What are we doing here?
So what's your amendment to that statement, buddy? What are you saying?
I was saying like leaves and branches on grass doesn't seem like it would make a crazy big sound.
Okay.
That's it. I just didn't
now
know.
let me ask you
I didn't
this.
know
Let me
falling
ask-
trees
let
were
me ask
loud
you
like
this.
that.
Let me ask you this.
Are they blowing out eardrums and I didn't fucking know? Like, are you
Do
guys
you
just
think-
like
how do you-
seeing
how do you
trees fall
think-
over?
How do you think Jesus Christ, this motherfucker is like you actually have hit your head a lot. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things, and that's okay. Like I've realized it's kind of a little bit mean to get down on you like this because what this is not stupidity, it's brain trauma. You know what I mean? This is a medical problem, and that's like I apologize for being so rude to you because you can't control it. You know what I mean? It was just repeated accidents, just being punched in the head, slamming your head into walls, you know,
Whoa,
dropping bricks on your cranium. Like, there's no way.
Let me make an honest appeal here, right? Because Landa brings up a good point. I am not going out into the woods observing tree fallings, you know, for 20 years, right? Like I'm not out here doing that recreationally, right?
Okay, Creams. I'm gonna just counter this real quick, right? Have you ever seen like let me think of something heavy, an anvil falling onto concrete? Like, is that something you've just seen before?
Not seen, no.
Okay, cool, right? So would you say that an anvil falling onto concrete is quiet because you've never seen or heard it? Like you've never been there to experience it personally? No, right? You use the thing called your brain to make an inference based on fucking knowledge. Like, what are we doing? Come on, man.
Why do you
Like,
have so much
I feel
skin
like-
in this, dude?
No, bro. I just feel like I'm like no red pill. I'm in the Matrix or something. You can't be a real person,
Bro,
Like, you can't
I
be a
am
real
being
person.
dead serious. Okay, first of all, these brain damage jokes are stressing me. I'm gonna knock, dude. That is a mortal fear of mine. All right. That's the first.
I don't know
Number
what's
two,
going on, bro.
Number two. All right. I have heard like of trees falling because lightning hit them. I've seen like things hit and heard things hit concrete, but like trees?
Jesus Christ. What the oh my god. What? Okay, you ever heard of a lumberjack?
Yes, and all the depictions of lumberjacks that I've ever seen have the trees fall like all the loud stuff is the chainsaws cutting into the tree, or like the axes.
You're just factually wrong. I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. That's just incorrect. That is not like I'm gonna tell you for you that is not your experience.
What the fuck?
I'm telling you. I know what I said. I'm telling you that is not your experience. You simply put, this stream have not proven you have a high enough level of intelligence to tell me what you've seen. I'm telling you what you've seen, and that's not it.
Are we really like? Okay, look. I don't know what kind of tree union or like tree Illuminati you seem to have like very personal stake in membership in, but like
No, dude, I have personal stake in the person that I talk to, like, publicly for sometimes hundreds of people. Like, I have stake in you not having the intelligence of a 4-year-old. I'm sorry. Oh, like, what do you, like, trees are made out of grass, and grass hitting grass doesn't
I
seem
gotta
like it beat
hold
that
on.
loud.
No. I gotta look up a video of a tree falling. This is insane. It cannot be.
Okay.
It cannot be as loud as you people say.
You people?
Stop.
That's
Stop.
crazy. No,
Tree
that's crazy.
falling
You
in
people
woods.
say,
This. Hold on. Okay. Found
like,
a
bro,
video.
are you
Okay.
are you crazy?
I'm even gonna turn the sound on so everybody here can hear it.
Like, what do you think part of the falling noise is? It's the tree breaking apart and fucking. Okay, you know what? Yeah, listen, put it on stream, bro.
Yeah.
Put it on stream. Free Illuminati is crazy.
What? No fucking way they're not. This has got to be fake. This has got to be fake. This is one of the most recent. Huh?
Yeah, like I think you also like are assuming I mean like a nuclear bomb just went off in your ears. It's just a loud noise, bro. Like that's all it is. It is a loud thing.
Like the branch is breaking, maybe, or the trunk, but like.
What is that?
The,
Is
the
it
actual
falling or not?
the actual impact is a lot quieter.
Nobody said.
Why are we getting into the? Why are we debating the acoustics of a tree falling right now?
Because you're dumb. That's why. Because you
God.
thought it was if an apple falls in the woods, can anybody hear it? That's what. Like literally, it's your fault. You know that, right? Like I don't and nobody said, well, if a tree impacts the ground in the woods and nobody's there, like, no, that is part of a tree falling. Guess what? The tree falling noises? Yeah, they're loud. Like,
did you go out like tree falling watching like with your family like? How is your family? No, hold on. Why do you like,
dumb.
Bro?
That's it.
No, hold on. This shit feels personal now. What are you like a lumberjack? Like, do you moonlight as a tree watcher? Like what's going on?
I'm gonna tell you this. Listen, you can't try to manipulate and slither out of this one, because if you check chat, everybody in here is like, duh, it's common sense. Duh, obviously, right? You're the only person who, for some reason, thought like the saying was if an apple falls in the forest is like that. Ignoring that, right? We're well past that. But for some reason, apparently you thought a tree was just like a pillow falling a couple of feet off the ground onto some grass. Like, what? What?
Okay.
What?
Okay. You know what, chat? Fine. I was wrong. I didn't know the fucking sound. I didn't know the saying. I've been corrected and checked. I'd like to apologize to the tree falling watching community that apparently exists and that I didn't know about.
I just can't believe.
Oh
like,
my God.
It's really. I'm just sorry. It's just hitting me in waves. How silly this conversation is. You know what I mean? Like, I had to explain to a grown adult that trees falling, like these massive just blocks of wood and bark falling sometimes makes a louder noise than an apple falling. Like, I just can't believe I had to have this conversation. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it's not that it's a big deal specifically that you don't know this, like, because, like, who cares, right? The knowledge itself is innocuous. It's more so that it's like, you said, I don't know, man. It's like, you think you have to, like, be there. You have to have tree watched in order to be able to put two and two together. And it's just blowing me away, man. I'm just really coming to terms with the fact that, wow, you know, this guy is, you know, he talks before he talks before he thinks. I'll put it like that. Just saying shit. We just talk. Nah.
last
That's
Shikigami. Thank you
nuts.
for the 2 from the Tree Illuminati. This made my week. I'm glad. I'm glad somebody's having fun from this. Um,
I'm just Jesus.
bro,
I
you put your soul into that. That's crazy. Like,
mean, I don't
like,
know, like I don't know what to tell you. Um,
bro got possessed
I
by
mean,
Gaia herself. Fucking tree spirit.
it's just like if I said like break a leg and you're like, ha, the expression is break a arm. It's just like that. It's just like what are you? It's not. Who cares about the saying? Why are you like this? It's just that. That's all it is.
Dude,
That's all it is.
what?
It's just
That,
you're just annoyingly
bro,
wrong.
that why are you like this? That shit was charred. Like, do you want to talk after this?
No, 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 no. If we're gonna talk on stream. So I don't think you want to. So I
Okay,
don't think you want to, buddy.
okay. Let's just drop this because clearly we're like rubbing up on something here.
No, bro. I can't. I don't know. You need like a CAT scan, something, bro. We just need to check what's going on up there. All right. Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
Oh,
God.
bro.
Wow. Cause. Wow. 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 I'm just astonished. Um. Anywho. Were we about to close out before that atrocity happened?
I think so. I completely fucking hell, dude.
Yeah.
Um.
Jesus.
Oh, okay.
God.
Christ, man.
Damn.
That was. Wow. That was a moment,
Yeah, bro. I mean,
bro. First the whip thing, and now this. I've been having a rough week.
you know what's funny? You know what's funny too,
Mm.
right? Like I've seen clips of podcasters having this like sort of like discussion about some dumb shit. Like I've seen clips of like on TikTok, right? Where two podcasters are like somebody brings up some really dumb thing, right? And the other person like corrects them on it on something that is very common sense. I just like I thought that things like that were scripted. You know what I mean? Like I thought things like that were for the clip. They were for TikTok. They were they weren't for they weren't real. Like, it couldn't happen to me. You know what I mean? But it's really weird that it did. And I I don't I don't know what to do with this information because this man, I don't know. I feel like I'm in a fucking cartoon. Like there's no way this is real life. There's
Oh
no
my
way this
god.
is real life. Oh God, yeah.
Well, hey
Thank you
man.
guys.
Yeah,
Jesus,
if we ever clip this into a short or something,
God,
God.
bro. I mean, I mean, thank you guys for coming out. You know what I mean? Appreciate you
Yeah.
guys for all the people that came here for the actual like hidden inventory discussion. You know, I'm sure you guys signed off a long time ago, but if you're still here somehow, appreciate you.
Yeah.
For all the people that stayed here, for a goddamn English saying and tree discussion, appreciate it. But I'm also sorry. I apologize that I put you through that, and I'll put the blame on me because I shouldn't have even
Oh
entertained
my
this
god.
toddler's
Oh my
ideology
god.
here. You know what I mean? Like that's my fault. You know what I mean? Like what is an adult doing talking to like an infant in a very serious way? That's my bad,
Okay.
right? So I apologize to you
Oh my god.
guys.
This is
But
already
yeah,
this is
appreciate it.
yeah, we've hit the slander cap on this episode. I think we're gonna go hit the showers and discuss this not in the shower. I'm gonna sign off. Have a good rest of your day. We'll see you guys Sunday for that episode. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Thank you
All right,
for
peace.
members, all of that. Appreciate y'all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is